What is going on, guys? We are back from another DSP video, and today we're looking at the build-up to the Joon the King documentary. DSP gives a stipulation for his Craig interview. We're going to see how people reacted to Joon the King, and we're going to see DSP's reaction to Joon the King on day 1 of his React streams. So we start off in the pre-stream, and we have DSP. It won't cover any of the positivity we've had in the last few months to year. By the way, Phil, it's been 3 weeks. Nah, it's all good. There's always room for an update later down the road, but I'm not looking for that either. Then DSP tells us he lost all the weight because he ran on a treadmill at full speed, despite him in the past saying, I started eating better. I started taking care of myself. Yet another lie.
For the record, would you like me to actually reveal something, a giant reveal, and my detractors will now tear this open? Are you ready? Because I'm actually confident about talking about this. I have a treadmill in my house, and I can walk on it whenever I want. And I have from time to time if I'm not feeling good and I'm feeling like shit. I'll walk on the treadmill regularly, and then I'll get healthy again. But I just haven't gotten into a routine where I do it like every day. But I have a treadmill in my home that I can walk on if I need it. Okay? What a big reveal, right? Because that's like a huge story for my detractors to know about something in my house because they're insane and they love obsessing over me. So to know that Phil has a treadmill is like wildly world breaking. Phil has a treadmill and he can work out. Well, how do you think I lost all that weight? It was about a year period where I was walking on the treadmill regularly and I lost a lot of weight doing that and I just never put it back on. So that's how I lost the weight. Here's your answer. Because people used to always interrogate me, how did I lose all that weight? I don't understand. That's how. I know, now you'll never hear the end of it. Because it's such a big deal, right? Yeah, here we go. Here comes the interrogation. How were you using it? What speed were you using it? What were your big accomplishments? I don't fucking know. All I know is I was going very fast and I was sweating bullets and I'd be completely soaked from head to toe by the time that I was done. And then after a while doing that, like a couple months, it wasn't so bad anymore. So I would up it and then I would up it and then I would up it. And I would usually do it in about 30-minute increments, like just going 30 minutes straight without stopping. And it basically worked. Like I said, I burned a ton of fat off my body using the treadmill. And it never, I don't eat bad stuff. I don't eat enough to put the weight back on. So that's how I lost the weight. And I know this will be a big expose thing for my detractors today. Wait a minute. Phil had a treadmill. Phil has a treadmill. That's how he lost his weight. He kept this a secret from everyone all these years. He's been lying. I'm serious. That will be the video. 100% that will be the video.
Then to prepare for the Joon the King documentary, which shows his downfall, he's showing off his analytics, this time on DSP Reacts. Now if you notice at the very end of the chart, everything is going down. But the most curious part is average watch time, 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Now keep in mind, this is also including his like 3 and 4 hour long streams as well. Then also apparently he showed off his DSP gaming stat. And look at that, channels your audience watches and its detractor channels. And now you can see who he's going after. Duty Streams, Memology, and look at that, Mighty D, who he's referenced in the past. And then we get DSP gaming stats. And look at that, average watch time, 8 minutes, 49 seconds. And not only that, look at the views. Notice at the end, it's going straight down yet again. Then apparently, the interview with Stuttering Craig is on for Thursday, after Joon the King documentary drops. But DSP has a stipulation, is that in this interview, Craig cannot ask him any questions. He told Craig, you had 5 hours during the last interview to ask me questions. You don't get to ask questions this time. So let me ask you something. What is an interview if no one can ask questions? That's called an interrogation. He wants to know why they treated him like crap during their interview. And then DSP went on to say that the future of DSP gaming is cool, fun times, felt in detractors, and looking forward to the positivity. So Joon the King put out a teaser picture for DSP's documentary, and it has Phil's face on the moon, you know, dark side of the moon. But Phil took this the other way. So first he said, oh, it's just like that Jim Carrey movie, you know, about Andy Warhol. And then he kept saying how, oh, Joon's gonna portray it as oh, I was a funny dude. People didn't know whether I was real or fake, and I blurred the lines. And then people kept saying, oh, you mean Andy Kaufman? And he goes, no. Well, let me look it up. And then gaslights his audience saying, oh no, see, I was right, it was Andy Kaufman. You guys said it was Andy Warhol. He's forgetting what he's saying seconds after he says it.
I'm just curious, does anyone know what this thumbnail is and what the reference is? Does anyone in chat know? Because when I saw it, dude, I cracked up. I was like, if this is the theme he's going to use during the actual documentary, dude, this is going to be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. No. Okay, you could say that. You could say Dark Side of the Moon. But no, do you know what I think this is a reference to? Phil is the Man on the Moon, right? The Man on the Moon is that documentary that was made about Andy Warhol in the late 90s where Jim Carrey played him. And for those who don't know, Andy Warhol was an American comic who was known as a guy that you could never really know if it was a shtick or what he was doing was real. He ultimately kept pushing the envelope. And so... Oh, excuse me, not Andy Kaufman, Andy Warhol. Who's Andy Kaufman? Who is Andy Kaufman? I don't know why I said Andy Kaufman. Who's Andy Kaufman? It's Andy Warhol, right? But anyway, it's the comedian Andy. Is it Andy Warhol or Andy? Now I'm really confused. Now I think I have to look it up. Hold on. Now I've confused myself. Because I want to make the proper point here. Man on the Moon. Here it is. It is Andy Kaufman. I was right. Why'd you say Andy Warhol? It's Andy Kaufman. You guys confused me. It's Andy Kaufman. Yeah, I was right. I was right all along. You guys confused me for some reason. Okay, so the American comedian Andy Kaufman.
Then DSP is ready for another round with LTG. DSP thinks that LTG backed out of fear of being humiliated again after his grudge match with Vizant. Missed out on at least $5,000 and 1,000 to 2,000 new subs.
Why did LTG block me? I just told you. Because he's so upset that... Alright, the truth is, the reason he blocked me is because of Vizant. Because the last time he had a giant rivalry with anyone was with Vizant. And after basically having this feud with Vizant, and then going to the tournament and losing to him, he lost a ton of face, right? It made him look awful, and he felt that whole rivalry gained him nothing. Like, he made nothing out of it whatsoever. It was just a bunch of wasted time and effort. It made him look stupid, and it embarrassed him, right? So, now, to see a similar thing happening, him and me, having a rivalry or whatever, he thinks it's going to be the same thing. It's not. I actually don't have bad feelings or bad blood with LTG. The point was to have a fun rivalry where we could play and get views. Why did LTG block me? I just told you. Because he's so upset that... Alright, the truth is, the reason he blocked me is because of Vizant. Because the last time he had a giant rivalry with anyone was with Vizant. And after basically having this feud with Vizant, and then going to the tournament and losing to him, he lost a ton of face, right? It made him look awful, and he felt that whole rivalry gained him nothing. Like, he made nothing out of it whatsoever. It was just a bunch of wasted time and effort. It made him look stupid, and it embarrassed him, right? So, now, to see a similar thing happening, him and me, having a rivalry or whatever, he thinks it's going to be the same thing. It's not. I actually don't have bad feelings or bad blood with LTG. The point was to have a fun rivalry where we could play and get views. Basically, this idea that I had last year would have made us both a lot of money. It would have. We would have both had streams from our own perspectives, our supporters, and even our trolls. Everyone would have been in on this. You know? Who's going to win? DSP or LTG? And it would have been an epic thing. And instead, he turned it into, like, a pissing match, which I didn't want a pissing match. I want to have a real match where we can both benefit from this. He doesn't see it. He told me, you have to pay me $5,000 for my time. Dude, if the stream went down the way I planned it, you would have made $5,000 on the stream. You would have had a ton of people coming and supporting you on your side that day. You would have got 1,000, 2,000 new fucking subscribers. You would have got, you know, bits and tips and shit. You would have got all of it. I probably wouldn't have made that much, but you would have.
Then DSP puts this tweet out, where it just says down, in the purple font, which is very, 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 very similar to WWE Champions. And that being said, adds on to it. He's not admitting to being down from the rafters. This is going to be one of those world-changing prepared jokes he's so great at. And then we have Mirrored Entity. Don't think about it too much. Also, don't think about the fact that his rough login was 1 hour ago from his posting, which would imply during or post Din Din Wrassle Wrassle. Also pay zero attention to where purple's located anywhere on the page containing down. Then apparently one of the people that want to interview DSP is Cultaholic, a wrestling podcast and channel. And guess what, guys? DSP also wants to go on that channel. Then guys, it's been revealed. He doesn't want to take his wife's PC anymore, it's too old. He wants a brand new, state-of-the-art PC so he can stream, record, and upload on just that. What a waste of money. And then DSP went on to say, he doesn't want to do drama all the time, it gets tiresome. He's here for his gaming, and people come to him because that's his bread and butter. That's what makes him the most views, most money, blah blah blah. Well, let's take a look at this. Drama, 448 views at the top. Drama at the bottom, 2.5k views. And let's see what's in the middle here. Oh, it's his Wukong playthrough. 130 views. 60 views. 96 views. That's some great bread and butter there, Phil. Then apparently someone made Phil a Philomania logo and put it on a shirt and sent it to him. Hopefully we can get to that 1k goal, dudes. DSP responded to Super Crazy when he went on Pescator stream and talked about the lawsuit against DSP. Well, guess what, guys? DSP stole his image from his video and his thumbnail, which was made by Meerkat, put it on his own video, but then got backlash because of that and changed it to something completely different. And before the Joon documentary dropped, DSP sent a message to Joon that he was having a renaissance at the moment, so his doc will be outdated. And also went on to say that people are gonna flood him and tell him about his redemption arc and how it's outdated. And then these are comments under Joon the King documentary for people waiting for the doc to drop. So DSP put this out. Live reacted to the description, loved it, looking forward to reacting to live all this week. To those watching it, enjoy the wild ride I've been through over the last 20 years. And let's see some of these responses. Nobody cares, little bro, plus ratioed. Yo, okay bro, get a job, Phil. How's the gout, Phil? Why were you creeping on 14-year-old girls when you're 20 years old? That's creepy. Pedo defender? And then we have this wild explanation of why people cannot be doxxed if more people tip him. Are you ready for this? DSP thinks the more people tipping him means less people will get doxxed that do it. How would more potential targets equal less doxes, Phil? Then, right before the doc premiered, DSP went on to say, the DSP fans are about to outweigh the detractors. There are more fans now than there is detractors. And there you have it, premiering. And I want to say this is real, but it's probably a LARPer. We had a DERICH in chat, where it just says Derek Ip, unban me, please, Phil. And then Darkside of Flow points out the description of the video. Darkside Phil has survived in the online space for over 2 decades now. Behind him leaves a trail of chaos and financial ruination brought by his own hands. Then apparently when it started premiering, DSP was in chat. And we have Phil Callens. DSP didn't last long in chat. He couldn't handle all the positivity. Then we see at DSP Gaming, Phil groomed Leanna. Who? Panda Lee? Spam Jab. Groomer. LOL. King of Suffering. So cringe, LOL. Groomer. Haha. Cope. Then even the caption was messing with Phil. As Darkside of Flow points out, the YouTube closed captions called him Fail instead of Phil. And then we get into what Joon said and people's reaction to it. Phil lies so much, it's hard to know what is fake or fact. And then Joon showed off. On the day that Jasper was revealed for 2K, there was 451 bans on that day. Then we have Meester. This Joon the King documentary is the single best piece of DSP media to come out since This Is How You Don't Play. No one will ever top this. We have Meerkat. The flag of the Kingdom of Hate will be flying at half-mast today. And then apparently the premiere crashed because there was too many people watching it. There was over 37,000 people watching it. So Joon decided, I'm just going to throw it as a video and just released it in its entirety. Then we have The Outsider. Joon pointed out that DSP said, I changed my number in response to his number confirmed in his Line app. But then later in Morrowind admits his number is the same, so Rambo should have called him. Yeah, the WWE Champion shit is insane. Good recap by Joon. Then we had quite the interesting responses. So we have this from Triple P. So this is a gift of Carrie at the prom when they dropped pig's blood on her. Then I believe this is a photo of people washing their hands because they had the blood of Christ on their hands. We have Red Pill Gang TV, up big and cashing out. See ya with the felted picture. We have Big KO. If you have $500, you gamble on it, and you win, you just doubled your money. Leave. KC cashing in their chips on DSP. Then we have this video from Joon's documentary showing Phil changing from a pig into a roach.
A cockroach came the derisive nickname Pig Roach.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
We went through the escort saga, and now DSP's encounter with that 11-year-old on VR chat. Yeah, Joon was cooking with fire on this one. Joon pointed out the iJustine shit, attempted takedown of Secret Life of DSP's 2017 video, watch Mojo's countdown over the Jerkin incident, and PewDiePie making fun of him. Now, El Crimson King gets a full-on shout-out. Laugh my ass off, big ups. Joon talking about how DSP begged for money and earned his label, the E-Beggar. DSP's not gonna like this one. 2019 to 2022 was truly a crazy era with taxes and bankruptcy. Joon actually showed the graph of how DSP said the word taxes in March 2018 and said it 527 times. Bank leak segment. Piece of Peace deserves a shit ton of credit for this. Joon flat out correlated the bank leaks to WWE champions over 18 months, totaling $44,950 of iTunes microtransactions, plus the booze among other things, all to prove the bank leaks are true. Then apparently, guys, I was surprised at this. The time he doxed PW Dubs in his Discord was actually in the documentary, and Meowblock put this out. I'm so happy the PW Dubs license doxing made it into this, because it shows him doxing someone and a secret Discord all in one segment. This doc is a pretty damn good job. Mr. Barreled, 1 hour in and absolutely paints Phil as a piece of human garbage. Then we have Duty. Just finished the 4-hour Joon the King documentary. Here's what I took out of it. Joon believes Phil is down from the rafters. The bank leaks are real. Phil is a scumbag. Then look at that, guys. This is probably not over. It's probably just a joke or him baiting some sort of reaction. But Triple P, Phil's felt it, bro. And then DSP Classic. You gonna wait for his 25 hours of retconning to watch it? Triple P, I watched 2 hours and he's felt it, bro. Chips just taken away over and over. House did him dirty, bro. Dick stroking Phil vlogs. No, Joon, not the 10-year plan. He's already dead. Now, apparently the video was trending as number 7 in gaming. And then Joon talked about DMs he had with DSP. And we have this from Poem Josh. Joon asked DSP why he lied about all the money raised going towards tax money, and DSP gave Joon a pre-stream DM answer. In return, admitted he did lie, then apologized for misspeaking to his fans. And then Poems asked this. Why have you never apologized to the people who paid you, Phil? And then apparently Joon the King included supporters and ex-supporters of DSP. And we have Duty here. Joon the King confirms Phil's viewers eat crayons.
Yes, the valid criticism. And this someone works with his fans who have been doxxed, are people with disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely.
Yeah. I think he has autism. And this is coming from someone who has it. Because I've got a low level of autism. Asperger's, which formerly called as.
And I think I donated it because I've been following him for so long. I don't want to say he felt like a friend, but I felt like some kind of weird, like this is someone I've known. I don't really know, but it's someone I've known. The only person I really followed on YouTube for so long, and I felt some kind of attachment, like a buddy in a sense. And I thought, oh, my buddy's in trouble. I should help him out, you know.
These people exist within every creator's community, but with Phil, that's virtually his entire fanbase. Phil once did have a diverse viewer base, but as his infamy grew and his content stagnated, the only thing he offered is consistent.
Then another thing that the doc actually included was the Rambo Pay Me Tons video, which was a parody of Patreon, making fun of people that rely on it for assistance. Basically making fun of people looking for handouts. Then we have a quote from the video. What did come was something else. Straight into Phil jacking it. Props for that one. So we have System Crawl. Kino dense, seethed, and felted. Right now makes me think this isn't Joon's usual audience. We got Misery Merchant. Joon needed to point out Panda dropping out of high school and moving in with Phil. Then we have this one here. Joon states DSP maliciously misrepresented the cost of his PC received from Chris. Chris receipts show DSP paid $1,300. DSP claims it cost $3,000. Phil lied to Rambo and Howard and said he did offer them money when he didn't. Phil was bold-faced lying to his two friends. And apparently LOLCOW Live was also reacting to it, of course, behind a paywall. Then we have Review Unemployment USA. When the documentary opens with this clip, you know it's going to be fire.
Hello everyone once again. Phil and I this time are at Tomlinson's getting food. It's like 8:30 something. We had just finished streaming our stupid horror games, and we are at Tomlinson's, another sort of famous place in Connecticut. Now, I got the straight fries, Phil got the curly fries. He got a turkey burger with his stuff. There it is. And I got the crispy chicken. Now tell them about how fascinating this place is.
Well, this place has been around for a long time. It was a staple of Bridgeport, and used to be this little shack. Like literally, it was just the grill, a bar, a bunch of stools, and you come in and you get a hot dog. It was like the best hot dog place in the area.
Yep, that little puny shack in the picture.
And then about 15 years ago, they announced they wanted to take down the shack and build a bigger building. And there's actually a big protest in the state. People were saying, no, this place is, it's actually it's like a historic monument. It's been around for so long, and so many people come to eat the hot dogs here. But eventually they did. They knocked it down, and now they built this big building, where the business continues.
And they're open till midnight.
Yeah, every day.
8 a.m. till midnight. That is a good deal. It's like perfect for stoners.
Anything you want here.
And gyros. You can get gyros, you can get buffalo wings, you can get soup, you can get breakfasty stuff.
All-American fair food.
Okay, well, I'm going to eat these fries. Yummy.
Then we also see this screenshot from the doc, where even as far back as 2003, DSP was still begging for donations. As we see on the forum here, cash donations are accepted. Send all info to darksidephil@hotmail.com. So we've seen what Joon had to say, we've seen what his audience had to say, we see what Kino had to say. Now, it's time to hear what DSP has to say. Poem Josh. 3 times today, Phil claimed he didn't have a recollection of specific events before going off and given a relatively detailed version of these events minutes after. Then DSP talking about his Jaha confrontation. According to DSP, if Jaha beat up DSP, the FGC would have been ruined forever. DSP also said Jaha didn't know better and that a lot of people don't like him. He also went on to say, DSP avoided direct capture because people preferred him putting out 3 hours a day instead of edited content. JG Win, DSP says he was more popular than the FGC in 2010 and they were jealous. Joon points out Phil said he was playing a character, but the people of the FGC would say otherwise. Shows clip of him yelling at people during a tournament. DSP went on to say, what did that clip have to do with what he said? That was completely out of context. And then this is a weird thing. So DSP cult leader came up and DSP was kind of smiling and was happy and acknowledged him as his first detractor. Which is really weird because there was probably a detractor before that, just not as vocally as DSP cult leader. And then as Joon was talking about how he's an e-beggar, he was begging for money. Guess what, guys? He stopped the stream to beg for money. He kept saying, please guys, if you like this, please support the stream. And he was at $252 at the time. DSP. Everyone knew it was online shit talking. Meow block. Crazy that you have an in-depth documentary that you're currently watching that shows how everyone hated you for exactly that. And then the whole Dead Space 2 thing came up, and he said he didn't understand in his late 20s why what he said in the Dead Space footage was bad back then. He also went on to say that the jokes were inspired by the Howard Stern show. And the only reason they worked for Howard Stern was because he was Jewish. David Davidson. I stopped posting online like a troll. Joon pulls up Phil posting online like a troll. DSP. Alright, well, I was drunk. And then one part that DSP got really heated over was Joon saying he got his job at the helicopter company because of his dad. DSP? There's no proof my dad got me a job at the helicopter company. Also DSP, my dad pushed me to try and get a job at the helicopter company. Then DSP, you know, the guy who doesn't want anything to do with the FGC, now is demanding a match with Cotito before he dies. We have Big Mara. When DSP personally attacked people online, it was all just jokes and playing a persona. When other people personally attacked DSP online, it was dead fucking serious and they owe him a public apology for it. Yeah, you can see the contradiction that is DSP. Then DSP went on to say about his Jew jokes. They were indefensible. Yet he keeps saying in the past, he was the equal opportunities razzler. He would make fun of everyone. It was the humor back then and no one took offense to it. Then DSP went on to say he was crying because he's an alcoholic and not because he was about to get his ass beat. Of course, this is the Jaha confrontation again. Also, he takes a moment to shit on Justin Wong. DSP demands an apology from Wong because he laughed at him. And why did he laugh at him? Because Jaha and Mike Watson made him cry. Then Canadian Kirk tips DSP and tells him Blimp TV should have had his back after the Nazi jokes. Of course you did, Kirk. And then DSP went on to say that Mike Watson apologized to DSP, but he can't prove it because it was through YouTube DMs. Then I pointed this out. DSP took everything as truth during the RTU doc. During his, he keeps saying that's not true. That was out of context. Joon got it wrong. Then Joon started talking about how DSP would pump videos out and DSP's response was that he was putting out 30 plus videos a day and people were asking him to put out more videos. And Phil, I never doxed anyone. Chat, the doxing is in the documentary. Phil, well maybe I did, so what? Then DSP announced that Joon the King will be on Level 1 show next week sometime. That should be a very interesting interview right after the Craig interview. So if you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe my other channels on the details or the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.